3, 2, 1. There you go.
Hi guys, this is Jean-Christophe Novelli. So as we are coming very close to Christmas, I was hoping to show you one of my favorite dish that we tend to enjoy on Christmas Day. So it is this wonderful apple crumble with Christmas pudding inside and custard. So how to make the crumble and how to make, the dish standing together. Once again, you can make it in advance if you have to, but this is a delight. It's a mix of softness, crunchiness, spicy, there's a little bit of whiskey if you want to. It's just superb. You just finish your turkey or your main Christmas dish and then you are going for the sweets or for the dessert. So what do we need? We need ingredients to make the crumble, which is sugar, oats, grounded almond and some butter. I'm going to use an apple, Bromley will do, Cox will be alright, Granny Smith will be perfect to keep it firm in case and only you overcook your apple. So the skin tends to keep concealed together. Then we need obviously, like I said, the apples and I forgot some Christmas pudding, which I have already prepared. So this is a little echantillon of my 2023 Christmas pudding at home. Well, it's not just that, I'm just saying it's a taste of that. So here we are. We use an apple, slice it, use what we call it a Parisian scoop, which is this wonderful little cup, which allow you to make, especially with potatoes, a round shape. And in my time, as back as the 70s, we used to make little bowl of potatoes called the Parisian potatoes. We used to deep fry them or boil them, beautiful little shapes. Anyway, so use the same scoop, which is perfect, not too big, and just go through digging into the apple as much as you can. So don't hesitate. Now, if you're not too sure, you can always use a spoon, a knife sharpener, only if you want to be quicker. You can sharp both sides. Try to use a thin spoon if it's possible. It'll be a lot easier to sharp. And then you can keep digging into the apple as far as nearly close to the skin. So you don't want too much apple standing up. You want the skin to keep consistent and to solidify around. And then you end up with an empty shell. Into this, we do two things. First, we put a little bit of custard, the usual custard, in the bottom. I mean, this one will be done by near Christmas. This will be done by one of my boys, for sure. So, when you manage to dig into the apple, you end up with this wonderful shell, which will allow to take on the Christmas pudding, the cooked compote of apples, and your custard, and obviously your crumb. So let's start. First things you do is you put some custard to it first. Then all the bits, the pulps of the apple that we've removed from the apple himself, you put it into a pan with a little bit of honey, not too much, just a bit, and some spice like star anise, anisette stars, a bit of cinnamon, which is very obvious with apples. You can have a little bit of cardamom, and importantly, whatever you do, vanilla. A little bit of vanilla pod. So the reaction cooking on, just keep it sealed or keep it covered with something. So remember your apples, just a touch of honey, keep it sealed, bring to the boil for 1 minute and then simmer it for about 10 minutes. So what happens is all the humidity, all the liquid is going to come off from the fruit and start helping cooking your apples. Very quick, not too long. And we end up with bits like this, which contain, look at that, you can acknowledge this wonderful piece of the apple and all these little beautiful black spots there of the vanilla and the smell of the cinnamon and the star anise. It's just delicious. So what you do is let it cool off, please. Sorry, let it cool down. Add it into your apple. So again, you're not wasting too much out. Oh, the smell is. This is delicious. Ooh. See, you got my little pearls of the Parisian scoop. Here we are. So you put your apples, like I said. Then you add in your Christmas pudding. So the shape of my Christmas pudding, which I made 4 months ago already, is only for stuffing my apples, by the way. Otherwise, I put it into normal containers to have a decent portion of black. So basically, what I do is I roll up a few of them in order to make my apple crumble, and the rest of the recipe from the Christmas pudding goes into normal pudding containers. So you slice it. Here we are. So you can break it down if you want. Just enough. So I love the fact that there is a combination with, look at that, it's lovely, by the way. Just superb. I love the smell, I love the colors, and I love the way you introduce this wonderful element. Now, you might not want to use apples, you might want to use a pear. It does work very well. Pear, apples, so on. Now, what we're doing now, next, the crumble, very important. How to make your crumble. Like I said, you got ground almond, sugar, bit of oats, and butter. Mix the lot together, and you end up with something like this. See that? So basically, it's like you can mold it. And when you are satisfied, the way everything has been mixed and dissolved together, you put it into a container. So you put it into a tray and stick it in oven for about 30 minutes at 130 degrees. And then you end up with something like this. So you got the same crumble, who smell lovely, and is a little bit crunchy. And that's the point of calling it crumble, so you can get the texture, the crunch of the crumble. Then, when this is cooling off, when this managed to be cooled down, you put your crumble on the top, like this. Or you can actually use the pieces. It doesn't have to be completely dissolved. I like to have a nice bite of crumble. Don't press it too hard. Do not, whatever you do not press the apple, because the tendency of having the skin might split, and especially during the time in oven. So it naturally will sink in. And then, when you come to this, at the very last minute, get a little bit of, and I mean a little bit of custard. Look at that. It's absolutely delicious. I wish it was Christmas tomorrow or today. So this is an idea how to enjoy your Christmas festive by having something which is not the end of the world. Anybody can do it, and it's really, really exciting. So you will have this, then you might want to add a little bit of whiskey at the last minute, or you might want to add a little bit of cocoa powder, a little bit less, So a touch of cocoa powder, a bit of bitterness, and again, aromatic. We're dealing about something which is simple, but also full of flavors. Then stick them in the oven, just enough for them to warm up, and you end up with something like this. So look at the liquid, it's just coming out, the custard is just popping in. And again, the crumble gets actually drier. So an element of textures from the crumble, which is very tasty. You imagine you've got the almond powder, you've got the hots, which is I love, by the way, combining. And you can see the apple has kept, this one has kept its size together. Like I said, if you're stuck, you can use Granny Smith. I believe Granny Smith contains, the skin is a little bit stronger and harder. So if you have to bake and then rebake again, or God knows what, you know they will stand up. But the flavors of the Granny Smith cannot compare with, obviously, a Bramley as a cooking apple against an eating apple. Anyway, everything is possible, and that's what you have. So you cut into that, and you can imagine you've got a Christmas pudding, you've got a custard from the bottom, a little bit gentle part of the whiskey. It's just superb. Who cannot enjoy this? And especially at Christmas. So please don't hesitate, have a try. Remember, if you want to try this recipe, you go on my Car Direct website and you can see everything is fantastic to follow. And also, if you want to, come back with some feedback, I will be happy to answer them. Until then, bon appétit, salut et joyeux Noël!